Hi, this is Gary with MacMost Now. On today's episode, let's take a closer look at some of the special fields in your Mac address book. So the simple address book program is becoming more and more important as iCloud allows you to share your contacts between all your different devices. So let's take a look at some of the fields that are more than just fields in your address book contacts. So when you look in your contacts, you can select a name here on the left and look at the contact on the right, click Edit to edit the fields. Now you can go to Card and Add Field to add a variety of different things. For instance, let's take a look at this first one here, phonetic first and last name. So what's the difference between a regular last name and the phonetic name? Well, the phonetic name is kind of written as it's pronounced. So if you've got a name in your address book that's hard to pronounce and you can't remember how to pronounce it, you can put the first and last name in these fields and their actual name spelled the way it should in the regular fields. Now, this is somewhat useful, but it's even more useful now when you realize that with the iPhone 4S and Siri, it will use the phonetic spellings to pronounce the name. So if a name is being mispronounced by Siri, perhaps your own name is being mispronounced, you can use this to fill in the correct pronunciation. Now, in addition to that, you also have this photo field here. You can double click on it and choose a photo that you've got. You can take one with your camera if you have one attached to your Mac. These are even more important because they're shared between your different devices. If you have an iPhone, for instance, you'll see this picture when somebody calls you if your phone number matches the phone number in the contact. You can actually take a picture with your iPhone, store it in the contact there, and it would sync back through iCloud and appear here. And then, if say you get an email from that person, you'll actually see their picture in the top when it says who the email is from. You'll see the same icon that appears in here. So it's very useful to have these filled out for as many contacts as you can. Now, another one you can use is nickname. Now, you can use nickname for the obvious thing. Like if you have a friend, Bob, whose real name is Robert, you can put their real name up here and Bob as the nickname. Or you could use it, say, to put Dad for your father's contact. And then you can address an email on your Mac to Dad or Bob, and it will know which one you're talking about. And also, of course, if you're syncing to your iPhone, you can use those nicknames there. Matter of fact, Siri will use your nickname to address you, and you can use nicknames of other people to ask to make phone calls or send emails to them. Now you may be thinking, well, if I don't have Siri, what's the use of having phonetic names or nicknames? Well, they're still kind of useful, like nicknames for mail. And also in the future, you may have an iPhone that has Siri, or some of these features may find their way to the Mac, and it'd be useful to have a nice set of contacts with all this information there. Now, another field you could add, and you may already know about this, is the birthday field. If you put birthday fields in for a lot of your contacts, they become very useful because they're available in the calendar in iCal. You see it right here. There's that birthday, and you can see under calendars, I have a subscription to my birthdays calendar, and that comes completely from address book birthdays. Now, another one you can add is a URL field. Now, when you do this, you can type in any URL. You can choose homepage, homework, other. Whichever one you choose, you can put in a URL, and what will happen now is if you go to Safari and you go to your bookmarks in Safari, there's actually an address book set of bookmarks, and you can see that all of the URLs for your address book that are filled in those fields will appear here. So it could be a useful way to quickly get to different websites of different people in your contacts. Likewise, you can also now add a field for Twitter. Now, the interesting thing about the Twitter field is now that Twitter is integrated with iOS, this is actually used in a lot of different places. Now, if instead of adding these individually all the time, you can go to your address book preferences, go to template, and here you can actually decide which ones will appear there all the time. So you can choose any of these things here and say add a birthday field, make it a default when you create a new contact. It'll be there for you to enter in. And don't overlook the usefulness of the note field at the bottom. Of course, you can add notes about the person there, but you can also use it for keyword tagging. For instance, I put the word party here. Maybe I'm planning a party and I want to figure out who I want to invite. So I can go to different contacts and add this keyword here. So I will put party here, and I'll put it for, say, a third person. And now I can actually search for that keyword and come up with a list of the people that have that in their notes field. So computers have always been used to help us organize our lives by keeping lists of contacts like this. But now it's even more important than ever with iOS 5, iCloud, Lion, and also all the social media networks. Everything's becoming a lot more integrated. So having a nice, clean set of contacts with all the information you need can be even more useful. So I hope you found this interesting. Till next time, this is Gary with MacMost Now. Want more video tutorials? Just go to MacMost.com, click on the videos link at the top of the page, and then you can view all of the hundreds of MacMost videos by category.